What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be self-growth, Gemini, and all the ways that you can embody the best qualities of your future self. I'm still working on the hand signs for that, Gemini. Bear with me. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Gemini. Now, Gemini, with this spread, I'm going to be going until higher self says stop. We're just going with the flow here. And just so you're all aware, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. We're just working with the energies. So apply the energies to people as it makes sense for your situations, okay? And then lastly, these decks that I'm using. This one that I'm shuffling here is the Astro Matrix Tarot deck. And then the Oracle deck that I'm be using is the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Gemini. All right, Gemini. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Whoa. All right, Gemini. So, don't panic. I know it's a lot of sound effects. Let's see what's going down here. So, Gemini, I feel like that some of us may be at this place right now where maybe I'm wondering if, I feel like for some, I'm wondering if we're at this place of like conflict right now, because I feel like that there's this dissonance that's going down here, you know, with this like Five of Swords, Four of Wands type of energy here. You know, I feel like that maybe, and you know, take this as it resonates. Could be you, could be a person, but I feel like that maybe there were some words exchanged here, Gemini, and I'm wondering if this had gotten to a place where maybe we're wondering like I'm wondering if this is like maybe like a toxic person possibly, or maybe this is something where we maybe we're noticing, Gemini, that maybe there are some people in our realm that just might not be, that may just not be resonating with us. You know, they might be lowering your vibration here, because I feel like with the devil, you know, the devil can be, it's a card of toxicity. And so, you know, if we're in this place right now, Gemini, if we feel like we've got maybe some people around us, or this could even be too, Gemini, maybe you're thinking about maybe this could be like maybe the people in our environment. This could be maybe even just like the work that we're doing, you know, maybe we don't care for. There may be some kind of dissonance there. But I just feel like that we're kind of evaluating where we've been investing our time in. And I feel like our resources and our energy, I feel like there's this big kind of evaluation that's going down here. And, you know, and hopefully, you know, focusing on more things that are going to raise your vibration. So if we're for example, if we're in a toxic, let's say, type of relationship, you know, whether this be friends, partnerships, family, you know, where I know it can be hard sometimes, you know, but boundaries are one of those things that it's, you know, it's not hurting the other person's feelings. It's just like, yo, we're not this, I'm not sure what's going down here, but this resonance is not working. This is not what we had, you know, when we initially kind of got into this, like, because everyone you meet, Gemini, this is like a contract, you know, where we're choosing to invest time and energy and all this stuff, laughter and all this good things. And if it's not, you know, promoting growth, Gemini, then You know, it's I don't even feel like it's necessarily like I'm saying like you gotta like just start cutting people out your life. You know, just don't start deleting people out of your phone, Gemini, and blocking people. But I feel like it's more so just like, hey, communicate, you know, state what's going down. And if it's still not resonating, then you know what? That relationship is where it's at right now. And if it gets to this place where maybe down the line, you know, if we're both vibrating at the same place again, the universe will bring you back into each other's realms. And again, this is for, you know, whether this is friends, partners, family, it all will work out, Gemini. You know, just make it make sense for your situation. Now I'm thinking too, with if this was like maybe, you know, with this Pentacles here, you know, maybe this could be like a work thing, for example. You know, maybe we have toxic co-workers, maybe even a toxic boss. You know, when we get into work stuff there, Gemini, you want to make sure to be mindful when we're going through this stuff, especially if we're getting into places of even where it's like harassment and things like that. You know, depending on the degree there, you know, check your handbook, you know, make sure that we know we have all the information at our disposal here, Gemini. But two, you know, if we're not even sure, you know, maybe things have been feeling weird, but we haven't been able to put our head, you know, finger on it. You know, I say just kind of sit down, because this could even be outside of people. You know, this could even be maybe where it's like maybe we're not feeling fulfilled, like at our work, for example, or maybe we're noticing some. Maybe we're noticing some behaviors that may but no longer be serving us a purpose. Like, you know, this could be even like oh, you know, the devil trifecta, like a drug, sex, alcohol, gambling, or well, more than a trifecta, gambling, or maybe even like self-esteem stuff, you know. But, and if that's the case, Gemini, you know, I feel like too, when we're dealing with just like even like personal type of, you know, addictions and things like that, you know, devil moments, you know, to not compare our growth to others, you know, because if we start to do that, then it puts a pressure on us, and an unnecessary one at that. Excuse me, because the devil situations are meant to be dealt with at the individual's pace. You know, it's not like a one glove fits all type of situation. You know, where you know, quitting cold turkey might work for Paul. You know, Susan might need to put in some steps for that. Whereas you know, Gary needs a whole tribe to kind of support him, and that's fine. You know, but it's finding the things that work for you, Gemini, and then finding that thing that we can get back in harmony. And two, Gemini, you know, maybe this is something where, you know, for example, if we are letting go of some old stuff, I'm thinking with like, let's say drinking, for example. Sometimes when we're going through these places of, you know, trying to better ourselves, you know, maybe that old hangout group that we were with, our drinking buddies, you know, they may not understand at first, possibly, you know, well, it's like, Gemini, why would you want to do that? That's no fun. You know, I like it better when you were drinking, you know, but that's Gemini, you know, it's low. If it's lowering your vibration and it's not where you want to invest your time. You know, the devil's is too, to remind us to stay strong. Because here's the thing too, even when we get eyes on a place where, you know, like a devil situation where we need to improve, you know, where higher self is trying to get us to grow. Just because we get eyes on it doesn't mean that it's healed. You know, it's going to be like an everyday, it's going to be a moment by moment thing. Because just because you decide to, okay, you know, quit, let's say, for example, let's go on the drinking thing. You know, we quit drinking that day, you know, we've been going great, it's been like months. And then we go to like a get together, and then who knows, maybe someone just popped out some wine, we're celebrating something for some reason, and then there's that temptation that comes back in your world, Gemini. And again, that's not the devil. Like, the devil's not trying to bring us down. It's just to remind us, like, hey, you're still working on this thing, but now we're in a different setting. How are you feeling about this? You know, where's your energy at? Are we in a good place, or do we need to remove ourselves? Or Are we going to give it a chance? And maybe it's like, oh, well, what's one, you know? And in Gemini, you know you're in a judgment-free zone. Even if we happen to fall off the bandwagon, you know, or, you know, it's not to say that you would spiral after one, but, you know, addictions can be tricky like that. And if we do fall off the bandwagon, that's fine. You know, don't let that ruin your thing. You know, if we have been good for months and we fall that one time, do we really want to highlight that one moment where we fell, or do we want to celebrate the 60 days that you were on top of it, you know? Because sometimes slips happen, you know, but it's not meant to defeat us, you know. It's just like, okay, we start. If anything, let that be a new cycle, you know. Don't let streaks don't let like streaks or like a broken streak, you know, break your stride, you know. It's like, oh, we trip, and it's like, okay, we collect ourselves, and then we keep going again, Gemini. Okay, let's see what else we're working with here. Ooh, Gemini, I'm with this, because I know you probably see that tower and probably panicking a little bit. But Gemini, this is good. The tower in reverse. The tower in reverse is dope, because this to me, this is you making the decision that something needs to change. You know, this is you taking control of your journey, because sometimes these situations come down around in our world, Gemini. You know, if we do get caught up in, you know, whatever this, you know, maybe devil moment might be, you know, we might get caught up at, you know, maybe for like a little while, but when we do realize that, Gemini, we do have the power to change. You know, tower moments, just as we chose to try whatever it was, you know, whatever this situation was, or, you know, we'll try whatever it was that got us in this situation, we can get ourselves out of it whenever we feel like it, Gemini. It's just a matter of working with the energies, you know, in working with things that make sense for us. Because if we try things that don't work for us, then that's going to hinder our progress. It's going to affect how the end results happen for this thing. Because the Ten of Pentacles, this is your story. This is your legacy here. You know, these are the rewards that are coming from your growth, from investing in self. So, you know, Gemini, don't let this situation become one that it's like where you're like, oh, this is gonna suck, you know, like I'm not looking forward to this. It may suck a little bit at first, but again, celebrate the fact that you chose to take the reins again, you know. Because here's the thing with the devil too. You know, with the devil, you know, the chains are loosely hanging around these people's necks. You can leave the devil situation whenever you want, you know. And Gemini, I understand that, you know, like I was saying, everyone's situation is different. Some people get in, you know, sometimes you get in a little too deep. And, you know, Gemini, I'm thinking too, this may not even be, I'm thinking, you know, granted it's self-growth, but this could even be maybe someone that you're personally working with right now. Maybe someone who might be going through a situation right now that you may be helping them out. Maybe you're trying to motivate them here, Gemini. You know, be mindful of your energy as well. You know, this affects you as much as it affects this other person that we're working with. So if this becomes, if we get to this, if this person decides to take these steps and you're down with this journey, you know, just be aware of what, you know, of all the things that it's going to require here. But if this is something where we're struggling, where it's like maybe it's too much for you to bear, it's not even that you have to give up on this person. It's just communicating that. It's just like, hey, I want to help, but this might be just, I might need some assistance, you know. This may be something where we need to, you know, bring in like just something a little bigger, because this could be, you know, this is like a family thing, you know. I'm just thinking with the Ten of Pentacles and, you know, thinking about foundations and stuff, you know, and that's something too, Gemini. You know, even when I'm thinking about like partnerships and stuff, you know, maybe some of us are in this place where maybe if we're in like a toxic relationship, you know, and we know that it's time to leave, but maybe we're afraid about losing the stability that we've had, or maybe that we've built up until now. Here's the thing, Gemini. When you, if this isn't working for you, and if it's got you in like a toxic, got you where it's like really lowering your vibration, it's really, it's asking yourself, like, is this worth it? Because here's the thing. I feel like if you're feeling stuck in this, the moment you decide to choose yourself and liberate yourself, of this situation here. Because here's the thing, Gemini, you absolutely can, even if this is like, we've been married, it's been, and it's in Gemini, this is not me saying that, like if things are bad, not to try to work it out or anything, or just go ahead and get divorced, but apply it to your situation. If things aren't working out, if our legacy, your legacy is being affected here, then it's time to take action. And here's the thing. When we choose ourselves and choose to better ourselves, your abundance, it becomes clear. What you thought was stability here, it was just like, it was an illusion that was being, the real stability comes from here. The real legacy comes from it here. It's not with the, it's not on the outside. Hopefully, I'm hoping that makes sense, Gemini. More? But Gemini, oh yeah, those two? Okay. Yeah, Gemini, I feel like that some of us, we just might be afraid. We may be afraid to rise up. Maybe this is something where, and again, it doesn't necessarily, like, however it applies for your situation. I feel like that in order for you to really get this happiness, Gemini, if we've been feeling down, if we're wondering, wanting to get more, this is something where you're going to have to take action. You're going to have to take what you know about your situation here and do something about it, because this is your card here, the King of Swords. The King of Swords is he's the wisest of the kings, at least for me, at least like as far as like mental clarity, he's very sound in when he makes his decisions. But the thing with wisdom is, in order for you to accrue wisdom, or to gain that, we have to take what we learn from situations here and put into practice, start taking action here. Because even too, Gemini, it's just really kind of just like settling in here. You got Aries, and you got their ruler here, Mars. And the fact that they're both in reverse here, well, this is okay. But it's like, I feel like the energies are lined up here, Gemini. It's just we're waiting on you. This is whenever you're ready to seize your happiness, to manifest a different story here. It is all yours for the taking. The universe is ready. It's just are you ready? And then if not, that's okay. But just try not to be in a situation that's going to, get you, possibly in trouble down the line, or, just that keeps you where you're not living your fullest, Gemini, or where you're not, you're not growing to the max here, Mark. Any more? Okay. Dope. Let's see what else is going down here. Oh, Gemini. Yeah. We got the Death card in reverse here. And and man, Gemini, we're going to get into this. Man, we're about to really, I'm not even sure where to start, because let me tell you what just happened, Gemini, while I'm just yelling at you. So, Mars rules Aries and rules Scorpio. Both Mars, everyone's in reverse. But it's like, I feel like all of the energies is here for you, Gemini, to make this transformation. Because even when I'm thinking with this Death card in reverse here, it's like, what are we resisting? It's all, I feel like all the signs and tools are right here for you at your disposal. but we're just not taking action. I feel like I feel like we may be nervous about what's going down, and Gemini, I'm not sure what degree of situation that you're in, but don't let that affect your world, because here's another thing too, Gemini. Saturn rules over Capricorn. There's a lot of things, I feel like, that even like if you were to choose, you Gemini, like choose to change, if there's something that's needing to be changed, I feel like the moment you do that, higher self has got your back, or however you connect to the source, future self, God, Buddha, Jesus, whatever. Everything is right here for you, but it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be some work. What you're going through. When we're going through this transformation, this is something I feel like is pretty big. But considering the planetary influences that are showing up in this reading right now, it's time to take action, and it's going to take some work. But Gemini, if anything, Saturn is the planet of restrictions, yes, but I find that when we work on the things that are restricting us, because that's where Saturn is trying to get our focus on, in the areas that we're restricted. When we get eyes on this and we start working on that, then we get our whole world here. Saturn rewards you handsomely when we put in the work, when we take action, when we decide to do the things that for us. But it's understanding what things are not serving us a purpose anymore, Gemini. What is hindering this wisdom, this growth? What's keeping this Knight of Swords, King of Swords, from manifesting their happiness? Because this is yours. This you can whenever you want it, Gemini. The Nine of See how she's sitting there? She's proud of what she's done. This is all these cups here. She put in the work for that. And that's where Gemini, I feel like you can feel just as satisfied as her if we start doing the same thing for yourself here. So just something to think about when we're working with these energies. But let's go ahead and get into some oracle cards here so I can start thinking about getting you out of here and start taking some action here. Yeah, Gemini, this is so fascinating. Just like how these rulers and stuff popped up here. Oh, hold on. So, first card here we have is the Puppet in reverse. And I feel like that this is asking you really to like value yourself, I feel that because the puppets are, if I'm remembering correctly, they're like little dolls, that we can build out of like nature and straw, things like that, to pour energy into, to bring like, good, I feel like, it could be either or, but I feel like, bringing in like, those good vibes. And I feel like with the touch card here, this is something that it's taking this, how do I want to put this, Gemini? I feel like that it's taking this situation here and taking control of it, putting the stuff in your hands. I feel like that there's more to this situation, I feel like, than what like meets the eye here, Gemini, if that makes sense. I feel like that there's a bigger picture here that if we were to just take some time and really get an understanding of this, get our hands on and get a grip on this situation, it can really help you move forward. Any more? Let's see what else we got going on here, Gemini. Oh, both. Okay. All right, Gemini, last few cards here. Nice. We got the sound card and we got the air card. Any more? Okay, let's switch back over here, Gemini. So with the sound card in reverse, Gemini, I feel like with this, another sense card here, just be mindful of what we're telling ourselves. If we're saying that, like we can't possibly move on from this, or that, or what, if there are any sort of like negative things that we may be telling ourselves, or if we notice that we're in an environment that, that is, a lot of dissonant sounds, as far as like, if people aren't supporting us, or anything along those lines, Gemini, I feel like that you're meant to feel free. All this restrictions and stuff here that's, that's going down. I feel like you may feel like kind of trapped in a box right now. And it's time to just break free, allow yourself to breathe again, And this could be something too, if we're not sure like how to take action. Maybe this could be for some of us, as weather may be permitting. Get outside, maybe breathe, get some fresh air, maybe something, because sometimes even just going for a walk, can help clear our heads and provide, different perspectives, and help us just kind of just get an understanding of what's going down. Because I'm even, yeah, Gemini, it's gonna take some time, It's gonna be a process, but it's going to be one that I feel like is going to be totally worth it, because you're going to feel like yourself. You're gonna feel free again, and then there's gonna be that clarity back. So just something to think about when we're working with this energy. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Gemini. I hope that made sense. This was kind of intense a little bit, I feel like that in Gemini. If we're in something kind of weird like that, be mindful. But it always feels weird after saying that. But if you like that, I'm not sure, you know what I mean, Gemini. Give it a thumbs up and share this. It's tough, when you feel like you're trapped, and that it might feel like there's like no way out, it's like, but there's always hope, Gemini. It's just that sometimes we get into this place where we just like we get so caught up in our heads sometimes, and you just got to be mindful of what you're manifesting. Because when I was talking about with this sound card, thoughts become things. And if we're telling ourselves like, this is all that's going to be of my world, I'm never going to get out of this things, maybe it's just going to be a toxic thing all the time, then that's what's going to end up happening, Gemini. And yeah, just be mindful of that. If we know someone who's going with that, share this. Maybe this can help them, hopefully help, just kind of motivate you, towards that direction, or at least get you thinking about maybe some different avenues maybe to take there. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I am, Gemini, this may be something too. I'm working on something. It's not like a huge thing that I'm doing, but we'll see, we'll see where it goes. But I got something that I'm cooking up here. I'm hoping, what's today, the 28th? I'm hoping to have it, I'm planning on having it all set up by tomorrow on the 1st. So I'll include something in the messages here. You'll stay tuned, but hopefully it might be something too that might help bring you up. And then lastly, oh, did I say it was on Insight Timer? And I'm on Facebook too. Once I get started on this thing, that'll hopefully help where I'm working with the energies, and I can get those to Facebook and Insight Timer kind of working together. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placements, hopefully you're not dealing with a Cancer, or if you're dealing with a Cancer, hopefully they're on the supportive end. But if not, come on over. If you just want to just be in some nurturing energy. But if you have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, wherever, Saturn, wherever. The Chariot and Friends, we discuss lunar shenanigans. I do videos Monday through Friday there. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Nice. I love that. You got the Six of Cups in reverse here. And then let's see what your Oracle card is. Okay. And then we got the Weaver in reverse. And with this Weaver in reverse, you know, Gemini, I feel like it's just asking us to kind of check in, you know, where have our energies been going at, you know, as of late? You know, have we been able to manifest, you know, or create anything, or are we on, do we feel like we're on our path right now? And if not, you know, what are some ways that we can start incorporating some of us back into this journey here? You know, really, I really feel like, you know, kind of finding yourself is what this Weaver energy is asking. And in Gemini, you know, with the Six of Cups in reverse, this is about letting go, you know, moving forward. Like this is a good sign for me, because I feel like that this shows that you can move on from whatever situation that you're in, Gemini. You know, whatever past stuff has led up into this thing, it doesn't have to continue to be your future if this is not helping you. You know what I mean? This is something where we may be, you know, when we make this move, there may be it may be an adjustment period right now. I'm not knocking that at all. But when the dust does settle, Gemini, because it always does, you know, we'll be able to look back and think, I made this happen. I got my throne back. You know, I'm back centered, you know, back in control, you know, back on my path. You know what I mean? And that, Gemini, I mean, that to me, that's 10 of Pentacles. That is 10 of Pentacles to the max, you know, feeling like you again, and then feeling in a place where you can rise up and start taking that, you know, and you're getting back to manifesting things towards your destiny here. So, you know, when the energy feels right, Gemini, you know, strike. You know, I feel like make that move. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. But be safe out there, Gemini. You know, just depending on where this is at, you know, however this is applied, you know, be safe, be mindful, and if we need to have like a third party mediator or anything like that, you know, just do your research, you know, make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. We want to make sure that we're in a, you know, you're manifesting your world here, Gemini. So cover the details. You know, use those abilities of yours. You know, that intelligence that you have, and make sure that we have everything covered. And for having trouble raising the vibration right now, Gemini, you know I got you. It's me putting your arm around you, around me, and I'm helping you raise that vibration. All right there, all right there, all right. And then, Gemini, oh wait, where's my mouse? I will catch you on the next one later.